Hello, everybody. Okay, so we're going to continue with chapter 12. Our next unit is lesson 12. Our next lesson is 12.8, units of time. We are on page 501 of our textbook. So how can you use models to compare units of time? That's our essential question today. And so let's look at the unlock the problem. The analog clock below has an hour hand, a minute hand, and a second hand to measure time. The time on the clock is 4:30 and 12 seconds. So we read that as 4:30 and 12 seconds, or you could say it's 30 minutes and 12 seconds after 4. Okay, so the longer hand again is the minute hand, the smaller hand is the hour hand, and the red hand is the seconds. Okay, are there more minutes or seconds in 1 hour? Well, there are 60 seconds in every minute. There are only 60 minutes in an hour. There has to be more seconds in an hour. Because every minute has 60 seconds. So the number of seconds would be 60 times more than the number of minutes. All right, so on this clock, we notice that right at 3 o'clock, the hour hand is pointing right at 3, the minute hand is pointing right at 12, and the second hand is right at 12. So that would be 0 seconds. So we would write that as 3 o'clock and 0 seconds. After 1 second elapses, represented by the blue shaded area, the viewer would write the time as 3 o'clock and 1 second. After 1 minute or 60 seconds elapses, the second hand has made a full turn clockwise. The second hand went all the way around the clock. Okay, and the minute hand has moved once. Here, the minute hand is still at the 12. Okay, only the second hand moved. All right, after 1 hour or 60 minutes elapses means passes by, the minute hand has made a full turn clockwise. Okay, so the minute hand in an hour will go all the way around, and the hour hand will go down 1 number. So in 60 minutes, the hour hand will increase 1 number or 1 hour. Okay, so how do we read that after 1 minute? It would be 3:01 and no seconds. At 4 o'clock, it would be 4 o'clock and 0 seconds if the second hand is right at 12. So how does the size of an hour compare to the size of a second? There are 60 minutes in an hour. There are 60 seconds in a minute. And what is 60 times 60? Well, we can treat that as a basic math fact. 6 times 6 is 36. And then we know that there are going to be 2 zeros in our product. So 3,600 seconds every hour. So 1 hour is 3,600 times as long as a second. It's going to take 3,600 seconds to equal 1 hour. All right, page 502. Example 2, compare the measures. Larissa spent 2 hours on her science project. Cliff spent 200 minutes on his science project. Who spent more time? And so one way we can do this is to make a table to change the number of hours to minutes. And so in 2 hours, it would be 2 times 60, which would be 120 minutes. In 3 hours, it would be 60 times 3, or 180 minutes. Okay, so in 2 hours compared to 200 minutes, 2 hours is 120 minutes compared to 200 minutes. Well, 120 is less than 200. So 2 hours is less than 200 minutes. So who spent more time? Cliff did. Cliff spent more time than Larissa on the science project. Cliff spent 200 minutes. Larissa spent 120 minutes. All right, how about the length of a week to the length of a day? That should be fairly simple. We know days and weeks. So use a color pencil to shade 1 week on the number line. Okay, you notice that we have weeks here, days here. So we're going to label days of the week that way. And use a different color to shade the days of the week. To shade 1 day. All right, so 1 day is that distance right there. So a day compared to a week. A day is 1/7 of a week. So a week is 7 times longer than a day. There are 7 days in 1 week, so 1 week is 7 times as long as 1 day. All right, so let's do some practice problems now. All right, compare the length of a year to the length of a month. All right, so in a year, shade 1 year, and we'll shade 1 month. So 1 month is 1/12 of a year. So 1 year is 12 times as long as 1 month. Okay. 2 minutes is how many seconds? All right. Well, 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So 2 minutes equals 2 times 60. 60 times 2 is 120 seconds. 4 years. Well, 1 year equals 12 months. So 4 years will be 4 times 12. 12 times 4 is 48. Okay. We do have some equivalents here in this box of units of time. These are things that we should just know by like the back of our hand. 1 minute, 60 seconds. 1 hour, 60 minutes. 1 day, 24 hours. 1 week, 7 days. 1 year, 12 months. And 1 year is also 52 weeks. All right, so how about 3 minutes? Well, again, 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 3 minutes is 3 times 60. And 3 times 60 is 180. So 180 seconds. 4 hours is how many minutes? Well, 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So 4 hours would be 4 times 60. 4 times 60 is 240. 240 minutes. Okay, what's bigger? 3 years or 35 months? Well, let's change the years to months or the months to years. I think it's easier to go from years to months. We're going from bigger to smaller. So 3 years equals 3 times 12. 3 times 12 is 36. So 3 years is greater than 35 months. 2 days compared to 40 hours. Okay, let's change the days to hours. So 1 day is 24 hours. So 2 days is 2 times 24. 48 hours. All right, 48. So 2 days is greater than 40 hours because 2 days is 48 hours. Okay, number 8. Damien has lived in the apartment building for 5 years. Ken has lived there for 250 weeks. Who has lived in the building longer? Explain and make a table to help. So 1 year, our table above says 52 weeks in a year. So 2 years would be 52 times 2, or 104 weeks. 3 years, 52 times 3, would be 156 weeks. 4 years would be 52 times 4, 208 weeks. And 52 times 5 would be 260 weeks. Okay, so 5 years compared to 250 weeks. Five years is the same as 260 weeks, so it is greater. So who has lived in the building longer? Damien. Because 5 years equals 260 weeks, which is more than 250. How many hours are in a week? Well, okay, so 1 day equals 24. 1 day equals 24 hours. There are 7 days in a week. So 7 times 24. 168 hours. 24 hours in a day. There are 7 days in a week. So 7 times 24 equals 168 hours. Number 10. Explain how you know that 9 minutes is less than 600 seconds. Well, 9 minutes would be 9 times 60. So 540 seconds. 9 minutes would be 540 seconds, which is less than 600 seconds. All right? 9 times 60 is 540. 540 is less than 600. Draw lines to match equivalent time intervals. Some intervals might not have a match. 1 hour, that one's easy. 60 minutes. I don't see 60 minutes anywhere. Okay, let's skip that one right now. 2 hours. That would be 60 times 2. That would be 120 minutes. Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay, that matches. 5 hours. That would be 60 times 5. 300 minutes. Okay, great. 12 hours. 12 hours times 60. That would be 720 minutes. I don't see that. All right, how about 48 hours? 48 hours. There's 24 hours in a day. So 2 days. Let's see, 2 times 24. That's 48. So there's 48 hours in 2 days. 12 hours and 4 days are left. Well, oh, you know what? 1 hour is 60 minutes, right? 1 hour equals 60 minutes. But 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So 60 times 60 is 3,600. Okay, so every hour has 3,600 seconds. Okay, now 12 hours. That's not 4 days. That's half a day. So it can't be the 2 days, can't be the 4 days. 12 hours is more than 120 minutes. It's way more than 3,600 seconds. And if 5 hours is 300 minutes, 12 hours. So 12 and 4 days don't have a match, which I said, some intervals might not have a match. Okay, all right, so we're fine with that. All right, connect to science. 1 day is the length of time it takes Earth to make one complete rotation. 1 year is the time it takes Earth to revolve around the sun. To make the calendar match Earth's orbit time, there are leap years. Leap years add 1 extra day to the year. A leap day, February 29th, is added to the calendar every 4 years. So in a standard year, we have 365 days. But in a leap year, there are 366 days. So how many days are there in 4 years? If the 4th year is a leap year, explain and make a table. All right, so 1 year, 365 days. 2 years would be 730 days. 3 years would be 365 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Regroup as 1 10 and 5 ones. 3 sets of 6 tens is 18 tens, plus 1 regrouped is 19 tens. Regroup that as 100 and 9 tens. 3 times 3 hundreds is 9 hundreds, plus 1 more is 1,000. So 1,095. And then after 4 years, 4 sets of 365 would be 20, 26, 1460. But this 4th year, I have to add a day. So 1,461 days. So how many days? Okay, so there's 1,461 days in 4 years. 365 times 4 is 1,460. But you add 1 extra day on the 4th year. So 1,461. All right, Parker was born on February 29th, 2008. So he's born on a leap year. The second time he is able to celebrate on his actual birthday is in 2016. How many days old will Parker be on February 29th, 2016? Well, how many years is that from 2016 back to 2008? I can't take 8 from 6, so I'll regroup the 10. That gives me 8, and the rest cancels out. So 8 years. So how many days would pass in 8 years? 365 times 8. That would be 40. Regroup that as 4 tens and 0 ones. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 4 regroup tens is 52 tens. Regroup that as 5 hundreds and 2 tens. 8 times 300 is 2400. Plus 5 regrouped hundreds, 2,920. But in 2012, we have to add a day. And in 2016, we have to add a day. So we have to add 2 leap year days. Okay. 2,922 days old. Okay. All right, so that's it for lesson 12.8. The next time we meet, we will be discussing lesson 12.9, elapsed time. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.